turn this music down a little bit. Alright, what's up, fellas? How we doing? Friday night, 9-game slate. Been a relatively quiet day, news-wise. Still waiting on some key injuries with Karl Anthony Towns, who we just got word is a game-time decision. And then we're still waiting for news on Kevin Porter Jr., who's also still questionable. The only change we got during the day was that Tobias Harris is out for Philly. Philly, when I looked at this slate the night before, they were not a team I really had much interest in. I think there are some guys from the Sixers that do look pretty solid now. Joel Embiid, he should dominate the usage without Tobias Harris and without Ben Simmons. We've seen Embiid just have massive games in the past whenever those guys have been out. So I do like Embiid a little bit more. And then I think value-wise, depending on who starts for Philly, I'm assuming it'll be Niang. I'm assuming Niang starts for Tobias Harris. He's in play for value. He's only 3,500 on DK. I definitely like him now. But we're still waiting for Cat news. We're still waiting for KPJ news. And those are two injuries that will definitely change up the slate if they are out. Hopefully we'll get an update while I stream. Brooklyn, Minnesota, they play at 7:30, and then Orlando, Houston's at 8. So I don't know if we're going to get them before lock, but we'll just stay tuned for the news. But I appreciate you guys being here, man. As always, if you got questions for tonight's slate, you can start throwing those in chat. We'll be live till about 6:30 Eastern. We'll, answer questions and just talk through the slate. What's up with Yahoo leaving out these early games for main slate's been happening more and more. Yeah, I've realized that, T-Bone. I don't know what they're doing. I've noticed it's just like only on Fridays. For some reason on Fridays on Yahoo, they don't put the early games on the main slate. So like, Kyle Lowry, Tyler Hero, those guys, like you can't play on Yahoo. Dedmon's not on the Yahoo slate. I don't know. Thoughts on Landry Shamet for value. Also, is CP3 now a must play? I mean, Landry Shamet started last night for Devin Booker. I'm assuming he'll start again. He's still somewhat cheap. I think he's playable. I don't think Landry Shamet's like a great value play though when you look at the slate as a whole. Just because his upside, as a really score-independent player, his upside's kind of minimal. CP3, I mean, I like CP3, but I wouldn't consider him a must-play. I mean, it's a 9-game slate. I don't think there's, like, any must-plays today, especially because we don't really have a ton of, standout value, at least not right now. Now, if Cat gets ruled out or if Kevin Porter Jr. gets ruled out, then, yeah, that could definitely change. When will Duncan Robinson bounce back? God, I have no idea, man. I don't know what's up with Duncan Robinson right now. Like, I still think he's a good tournament play because I don't think anyone's going to play him. But holy hell, like Duncan Robinson has been shooting so bad these last two games. 1 for 9 against Denver, 0 for 7 last game against Cleveland. Like, he should get shots up. Without Bam and without Jimmy, like, somebody's going to have to shoot the ball. I expect Tyler Hero to chuck. I expect Tyler Hero to take 20, 25 shots. But I would think Duncan Robinson's going to get some opportunity too. It's just, he's a score-independent player, so he's got to make his shots to really, have a good game. I want to say he's going to start shooting well at some point. I still do like him in tournaments, especially because I think he will be pretty low owned. Let me see what his ownership is right now. I'd assume it's like, I'd assume nobody's playing Duncan Robinson. Yeah, he's 1% owned. I mean, I know he's been freaking terrible, but 1% owned Duncan Robinson without Bam and without Jimmy. I think that's solid in tournaments for sure. Favorite center on Yahoo and thoughts on Maxi Kleber for value. I mean, I like Embiid on Yahoo if you can pay up at center. If you're not going to pay up for Embiid, I think, in the mid-range, like Christian Wood, J-Val, Ayton look pretty solid. And then Maxi Kleber, yeah, I think Maxi Kleber is definitely in play for value if he starts for Porzingis. We don't have a starting lineup yet for the Mavs, but I'm assuming it'll be Kleber in there. Kleber, not a great point-per-minute player, but right now we don't have a ton of value, so I think Kleber would definitely be on my radar if he winds up starting for Porzingis. Embiid or Joval? I prefer Embiid, just straight up, if you can fit him. I know Embiid's a little bit more expensive, but I'd rather play Embiid. George and Hart or Durant and Duncan? Give me Durant and Duncan Robinson there. What's up, Noah? Just curious, where do you stream your music from on your live streams? It's on YouTube. I just look up copyright-free music, and yeah, that's where I get my music from. If you want to look at, I don't know what the beats are called, but if you look up Lo-Fi Hip Hop Mix 2021, look for the picture of the person standing on a car looking at the moon. That's the stream I use, or the music I use. But I have no idea what any of these beats are called. Best point guard play on FanDuel? I mean, I don't play that often on FanDuel, man. I can't really tell you there. Oh, let me see. I mean, Luka's projecting out really well on FanDuel at point guard, so Luka, if you can fit him. Kyle Lowry is projecting really well on FanDuel, so I guess those guys. But I don't play on FanDuel that often, so I can't really answer that. I'm just giving you what the projections have. Embiid or J-Val? Yeah, Embiid for me. Niang, Dedmon, Otto Porter, or Devontae Graham? Give me Dedmon there. D'Angelo Russell or Cole Anthony? I'll say Cole Anthony, but if Towns gets ruled out, then I would side with Russell. But for now, I'll say Cole Anthony there. Just keep an eye on the Towns news. Tatum, Trey, or J-Val? Give me Tatum. Ayton or Allen? Man, that's close. I think I prefer DeAndre Ayton over Jared Allen, but that is really close. You like Huerter more now with Reddish out? I mean, yeah, I already had some interest in Kevin Huerter to begin with. You know, without Bogdan and without Hunter, we've seen Kevin Huerter play big minutes, and I think without Cam Reddish now too, yeah, Kevin Huerter might play 35, 38 minutes. So yeah, he's definitely in play. His price is probably where it should be, but I still do like him just for the heavy minutes he should play. He's pretty cheap on Yahoo, so if you play over there, I think Kevin Huerter looks like a pretty solid value on Yahoo. Niang or Cam Johnson? I think I side with Niang, assuming he's starting, but that's another close one. I do have a good amount of interest in both those guys for value. What do you think of CP3, Hero, Huerter, Cam Johnson, Dedmon, Schroeder, Niang, Embiid? I think that's solid, Brandon. I like that quite a bit. Rudy Mitchell, Beal, or D'Angelo Russell? Give me Beal there. Christian Wood or Jared Allen? Give me Christian Wood if he plays. He's expected to play, but keep an eye on that. I mean, yeah, Luka's rates, like his numbers, don't really change when Porzingis is out. So I don't think Luka gets like this massive bump with Porzingis out, but obviously the offense is going to run through Luka. But when you look at like his usage and stuff, it really doesn't change that much without Porzingis, which is it's really weird to see. But I definitely like Luka. I think Luka's a good option. And he just crushed in this same matchup, a couple days ago. He would have put up like 70, but it was a blowout. Hopefully the Pelicans can keep it close tonight. Top spin ups on Yahoo already have Tatum and Embiid. I like Paul George. I like Luka. Harden I think is pretty solid on Yahoo. Cat I like as like a lower owned play, but I would say like Harden, Luka, and probably PG. Cole Anthony or Jared Allen? Give me Jared Allen, but man, that's really close. You like Brunson? I think Brunson gets a boost without Porzingis. I think he'll play probably more minutes. I think he'll be in the closing lineup. He's projecting out really well, and right now he's projected for a decent amount of ownership. Yeah, so Jalen Brunson's projected for 31% ownership. That's one of those guys, like, I think I'm fine not playing him if he's going to be 30% owned. Because, he's still, like, he's 4,900. He's pretty cheap, but we could get some better value from Houston if KPJ gets ruled out. We could get some value from Minnesota if Towns gets ruled out. Like, I think there's other ways I'd go than playing a 30% owned Jalen Brunson today. But without Porzingis, he does get a boost. Thoughts on Seth Curry? I think Seth Curry's viable now that Tobias Harris is out. I think his price is probably correct. I don't think he's like a standout play, but he's playable now. I will say that. Poole or Garland? Give me Garland. How many players would you run from Houston, Orlando, assuming KPJ's out? I mean, you could play from Houston. You could play Eric Gordon, Armani Brooks, Jayshawn Tate, Christian Wood. Like, all those guys would be pretty solid options. And then on Orlando, I mean, Cole Anthony's for sure in play. I don't mind Wendell Carter Jr. and Mo Bamba. But Houston would be a team that would definitely offer some value if KPJ's out. Because I'm assuming Armani Brooks would start. He'd probably play a lot. He's really cheap. Eric Gordon would have the ball in his hands more, and he's really cheap too. And then obviously Christian Wood, his ceiling would be pretty high if KPJ's out. So you could definitely play 2, 3, maybe 4 Rockets. 4 might be too much, but I think 3 is fine. CP3 Hero or Lowry? Give me CP3 there, but like all 3 of those guys I have a good amount of interest in. Any love for Caleb Martin? Probably not, Eric. He's going to come off the bench, probably play like 26, 28 minutes. I really question what his ceiling is. On a 9-game slate, I doubt I'd be playing Caleb Martin. especially if we get, value from Houston. Favorite point guard play 6,700 or below. Dennis Schroeder's the first guy that comes to mind there. Yeah, I'd probably play Dennis Schroeder with Jaylen Brown out. I'm expecting Dennis Schroeder, to be back in the starting lineup. We've seen Schroeder play really well when Brown has been out. We've seen him play pretty good minutes too. So I think I'd take him. Base utility 19 or below on Yahoo. I think LaMarcus Aldridge is $19 on Yahoo, so I'd probably take him. Let's see. Yeah, I'd probably say LaMarcus Aldridge. Yeah, probably Aldridge would be my pick there at $19. Grammar Duarte, give me Duarte. What's your take on Sabonis? I mean, I think his price, Sabonis doesn't really stand out at his price tag. I mean, he's 9,600. I think, it's a better spot going up against Miami than it normally would be, because obviously Miami's going to be without Jimmy and they're going to be without Bam. It wouldn't be surprising to see Sabonis have a good game, but at 9,600, you're spending a lot for Sabonis. At that price tag, he's really got to put up a ceiling game to be worth it. I just don't know if he, in what probably will be a slow-paced game, I just don't know what his upside really is. I think if Sabonis was 8,600, then I'd be a lot more interested. Dwight Howard and Dedmon for center utility. I mean, Dedmon I like a lot. Dwight Howard, I'm not as high on. I know people are kind of wanting to play Dwight Howard tonight. We got word that he's going to start over DeAndre Jordan. Dwight Howard had a huge game last game. But we've seen in the past, even when Dwight Howard's in the starting lineup, that's not a guarantee that he's going to play a lot of minutes. They could play Dwight Howard 18 minutes tonight, and I would not be surprised. I think Dwight Howard plays at least 18 minutes, but I think, I truly question what his ceiling in minutes is. I don't think Dwight Howard plays 30 minutes tonight. I think that's really unlikely. I mean, right now, what is his ownership? He didn't even make my sheet on Patreon. He just really wasn't even in consideration for me. I mean, he's going to be low on. Right now, he's projected for 3.9% ownership, but yeah, I feel like they could just use Dwight Howard like they used DeAndre Jordan. Just play him 7 minutes in the first quarter, 7 minutes in the third quarter, and that's all that he plays. Paul George or Tatum? I'd say Paul George, Jay, but that's a really close one, honestly. I think those two project very closely. LeVert has been awful, but is only 4,800 on FanDuel. Combine that with both Holiday and McConnell being out, might be worth taking a stab. Yeah, LeVert's been so bad, but he's cheap on, FanDuel, 4,800. I think he's projecting out really well on FanDuel. I think his ownership on FanDuel is going to be pretty high too because of how well he's projecting. Again, I don't really play on FanDuel that often. Right now, LeVert's projected ownership on FanDuel is 42%. I mean, he's cheap, but God, he's been so freaking bad. It's almost one of those scenarios where you just want to fade him and just hope he can keep sucking, especially if he's going to be chalk. Gobert or Mitchell? If I had to pick one, I think I'd say Donovan Mitchell, but the Jazz are a team I really don't like that much on this slate. I'm not that high on really any Jazz players. Ingram for an 8K utility, I think that's fine. Yeah, if you got 8K at util, Brandon Ingram would probably be the guy to play there. Brandon Ingram or Lowry or Hero, one of those guys. Embiid and Tate or Tatum and Bamba? If KPJ is out, I would definitely take Embiid and Tate. If KPJ plays, I think it'd be pretty close, but I would probably still take the first one anyway. Best value play today? I mean, right now, I think Georges Niang at 3,500, assuming he starts for Tobias Harris, is a pretty good value. But we're still waiting for news from Houston with KPJ. We're still waiting for news from Brooklyn with Cat, or from Minnesota with Cat. So, there could be better value open up if those guys are out. I like Cole Anthony a lot today. I mean, yeah, it's a good spot against Houston. Houston, I mean, they're playing at the fastest pace in the league so far this year. And they're really, they're not a good team, so it's definitely a good spot for Cole Anthony. And given how bad Houston is, I think it's really likely, that game stays close, which is something, you always worry about when you play Magic guys. But I think the game does stay close. Thoughts on Daniel Tice tonight? I would not be playing Daniel Tice. If Daniel Tice had a good game last game, it's probably because, Christian Wood got hurt. Yeah, I don't even see any reason. I mean, even when Christian Wood got hurt last game, Daniel Tice still played only 21 minutes. So, yeah, I would not be playing Daniel Tice. If you're playing Daniel Tice, feel free to take my head-to-heads. Brooks or Shamet? I would definitely take Brooks if KPJ's out. Any interest in Ingram on Yahoo? He's a shooting guard today. Yeah, definitely like Ingram on Yahoo. I think he's one of the better shooting guard plays over there. Schroeder or Reggie Jackson? Give me Schroeder. Brunson over Dedmon? I would take Dedmon over Brunson personally. I mean, in this matchup against Indiana, like Dedmon's gonna have to play as many minutes as he can. Like they're gonna play Dedmon until he fouls out. So yeah, I would probably go Dedmon there. Just need a little help. Can't decide between Trae Young, Tatum, or Sabonis. Who would you pick? I'd probably go Tatum. It would be between Tatum or Trae Young. I think I'd side with Tatum, especially with Jaylen Brown out. Armani Brooks value on Yahoo? I mean, it's going to depend on, KPJ status. If KPJ's out, yes, Armani Brooks will be a really good value, but we don't have news on KPJ yet, so we're just kind of waiting there. Niang or Kleber? I think I'll take Niang over Maxi Kleber, but those are pretty solid. Both those guys are pretty solid values in my opinion. Beal or Russell if Towns is out? I would take Russell if Towns is out. If Towns plays, then probably would take Beal. Jay Crowder? I mean, Jay Crowder's playable. Not a guy that I think really offers much upside. Will probably get better value, depending on who's out for Minnesota and Houston. If Towns and KPJ are out, we'll probably get better value, but Crowder's fine. I think he's someone I'd be a lot more likely to play Crowder like on the night slate than I would the full main slate. Finally made it to another live chat. What's up, Derek? What's up, my man? Thoughts on Jordan Clarkson? Yeah, again, I mean, the Jazz are just, God, they're not a team I'm really looking to roster today. I don't have interest in many Jazz on this slate, personally. Bridges or Aldridge in the util? Give me Aldridge. Are there any new injury updates? Only thing we got was that Tobias Harris was out, which was not expected. So Tobias Harris is out for Philly, but we're still waiting for KPJ, who's questionable, and we're still waiting for Cat, who's also questionable. Those are the two big ones right now. And obviously, there could be something random pop up. I mean, you guys saw yesterday with Giannis getting ruled out like 15 minutes before the game started. In NBA, man, there's never, even if a player's not on the injury report, they could be ruled out at any moment. So you always have to be ready for injury updates. PG-13 or Embiid? I think I'd take Embiid now with Tobias Harris out. Otto Porter seems to be moving up the playing time ladder in production. Good play at 4,800. I mean, yeah, he's been playing better, but his price is also up. Now that Otto Porter's like almost 5K, like I'm not going to play 5K Otto Porter. So even though he's been playing better, the price tag's also up, so you're paying for it. I mean, it's not like you're getting Otto Porter at a discount anymore. I mean, if he was 3K, yeah, I would really like Otto Porter. But even if he plays like 25 minutes, if he scores 25 DK points, that's probably not going to do anything for you. And I don't think it's a guarantee that Otto Porter, keeps playing the minutes he's been playing. We know with Steve Kerr, when it comes to those bench guys, like he'll just play whoever's playing the best. There's no guaranteed minutes for like any of those bench guys. What do you mean, Dirty Dennis? It's pronounced Shamet. You literally look it up. It's Landry Shamet. Or Landry, is it Landry Shamet or Shamet? I don't know. I thought it was Shamet. It might be Shamet. What Suns would you play / not play? Sorry if you went over this. I'm late. I mean, I think Chris Paul's in play. I think DeAndre Ayton's in play. Landry Shamet, if he starts again, which I'm assuming he will, he's playable. Cam Johnson, I like for value. I mean, there's definitely a lot of viable options from the Suns. I don't think the Suns are a team I'm like loading up on today. I'm not playing 4 Suns or anything, but I think there's a couple guys that I do have interest in. That late Giannis news almost burned me yesterday. Yeah, you had to be ready for that. I mean, Giannis was still, he was still owned a decent amount. He was still like 15% owned in some of the tournaments I was in. So, I mean, you were basically playing rake-free yesterday with people still played Giannis. And the thing was, it was a slate where there was a pretty good amount of value, so it was fairly easy to play Giannis. That's why you saw, so many people had him, or a decent amount of people still had him. With it, yeah, it was a back-to-back for them, so I almost wanted to, I was going into the slate saying I would not be surprised if, somebody from Milwaukee sits, given it was a back-to-back and they played so many minutes the night before, and then surely enough, it happened. I don't know why they wait till the last minute though. Like obviously they knew yesterday. Milwaukee knew they weren't going to play Giannis. I don't know why they waited till 10 minutes before the game started to finally announce it. Jones or Martin? I'm assuming that's Caleb Martin and Herbert Jones. Between Caleb Martin or Herbert Jones, I'd probably side with Herbert Jones, but don't love either one of those guys. Any suggestions? 3,700 Ford. Niang's 3,500. So if Niang starts for Tobias Harris, I'd be playing Niang there. Something hope all is well. Haven't called it live in a while. What are your thoughts on Christian Wood? I mean, Christian Wood I definitely have interest in, especially if Kevin Porter Jr. gets ruled out. I like the matchup against Orlando. I think this game stays close, so you'll get your full minutes from Christian Wood. Yeah, he's definitely in play, and he's going to be low owned, I'd assume. George Curry or Doncic? Give me Luka. Any prize picks? I can give some prize picks. So let's see. So one prize pick play I do like, especially with Cam Reddish out now. Kevin Huerter, 23 fantasy points. Like we've been saying, without Cam Reddish, without Bogdan, without Hunter, like Kevin Huerter is going to play 35, 36 minutes. I think he can get us 23 fantasy points. So I definitely like over 23 fantasy points for Kevin Huerter. The Miami guys, Tyler Hero's points, I like a lot. 22.5 points. I mean, last game, Tyler Hero got 21 points, and he shot the ball pretty bad. Like, let's see. Where's he at? So Tyler Hero shot 39% from the field, 28% from three, and he scored 21 points. I mean, if he has just an even slightly better shooting game, he's going to easily get over 22.5 points. So over 22.5 points for Tyler Hero. I like that quite a bit, too. Now that Tobias Harris is out, I think Joel Embiid, his points over 23.5. I like Embiid's over, just because I think Embiid's going to be chucking. I mean, the offense is going to run through Embiid tonight without Harris and without Simmons. So that's another one you could take. And then keep an eye on the KPJ news. Like, if KPJ gets ruled out, you could definitely take the overs on Jae'Sean Tate, over on Eric Gordon, because both those guys would benefit if Kevin Porter's out. And then same with, Minnesota. If Towns gets ruled out, over on D'Angelo Russell, over on Anthony Edwards. You could take the over on their points, too. Those are a few picks, though, I like for prize picks. Don't want to give out too much. You guys know I give out, a lot of picks for Patreon members. So I don't want to give out too much for free, but that's just a few that I like. Would you lock in Edwards if Towns is out? I mean, I wouldn't say that Anthony Edwards would be a lock, but Anthony Edwards, D'Angelo Russell, they would both be really good plays. I mean, the usage, the offense would just run through those two guys. You would see those two guys just taking a ton of shots. So, yeah, Anthony Edwards and D. Russ would be very good plays if Towns is out. And then obviously Naz Reid would be a really good value. What's up, Noah in the ARC family? What's up, Mark? What's up, my man? Now get Deontay right, Noah. So is it Deontay or is it DeJounte? I always thought it was Deontay, but it might be DeJounte. I think it's DeJounte. So it's DeJounte Murray and Landry Shamet. Got to remember that. Got to keep it in the brain. Thoughts on Gafford? I mean, Gafford's minutes, like, they've been trending up lately. I still don't know if that's going to continue. I think most nights it's going to be like a 24-24 split between Gafford and Harrell. But lately, Gafford's been getting like 27 minutes. He's played 27 minutes in 3 of his last 4. Again, I don't have confidence that continues, but if Daniel Gafford plays 27 minutes tonight, he's probably going to do well. It's just I don't think those minutes are guaranteed. On a 9-game slate, I don't think you need to go there, but he's playable at least. He should be really low owned, I'd assume. Okay, Kevin Porter Jr. is a game time decision, so that really doesn't do anything for us. Dang, so KPJ and Cat are both game time decisions. Any interest in Curry with Harris out? I think Seth Curry's in play. He's not like a priority option for me, but he's in play now. I will say that. Embiid's definitely my favorite play from Philly, though. And then Niang for value, I do like if he winds up starting. I need a point guard and a power forward for 10-9. Who should I take? Oh, man, you're going to make me do some math here? Come on now. Let's see. So if you do Hero, that's 7-5. So then you'd have You have 3,400 for Ford. We'll see. Niang's probably the best forward value right now. He's 3,500. So 3,500 for Niang. That would leave you 7,400 at point guard. Yeah, I mean, I would say, I guess Garland and Niang would be something you could do. Yeah, I guess that could be something you go with. Doncic, Harden, Westbrook, or Curry? Give me Luka. Give me Luka there. Thoughts on Mann? Yeah, I'm not really on Terrence Mann. Especially with KPJ, or with, not KPJ, with Paul George back. Like, Paul George rested last game. Obviously, there was a lot of plays to go to from the Clippers. Now that Paul George is back, like, I just don't really have any interest in Terrence Mann. Do you like Draymond tonight? I think Draymond's playable, Michael. I'm personally not really on Draymond. I think Draymond's someone I'd be more likely to play, on the late slate, but not on the main slate, I don't think. Draymond's he's just not been great this year for fantasy. I feel like he's going to, have a good game at some point, but it's almost like Karis LeVert, when is it going to happen? Is it ever going to happen? Also, Duarte, I think Chris Duarte is going to play a ton. Without TJ McConnell, without Justin Holiday, he should play 35, 36 minutes. He's kind of a scoring-dependent player, but he's going to be out there for a ton, so he's definitely in play. And I think he'll be really low owned on a big slate like this. You like Maxey? I think Maxey's okay. His price is probably where it should be, though. Like, where is he? 60? Yeah, 6,900. I mean, you need 40 plus DK points from Maxey to be a good play at his price tag. And I think his upside isn't as high when he's having to play alongside Embiid. I think there's more opportunity available without Tobias Harris, but he's still going to be playing with Embiid a lot, which definitely hurts his upside. CP3 a good play overall on Yahoo way of Golden State revenge game. I mean, I definitely like CP3. Without Devin Booker, I think CP3 is gonna get a ton of or he's gonna have the ball in his hands a ton. The upside is definitely there. The game against this is a big time game against the Warriors. I think CP3 plays a lot of minutes. The Suns are they're like on a crazy win streak right now. They've won like 17 games in a row. I think they want to keep this win streak. They're going to do whatever they can to win this game. So if that means playing CP3 40 minutes, then yeah, they'll play CP3 40 minutes. I mean, he played 39 minutes, when these teams played on Tuesday. It's a back-to-back for the Suns, which I think's a little concerning, but they limited CP3 a little bit last night. He only played, I think, like 33 minutes or 32 minutes. So he should be fine. I definitely like CP3 without Booker. Allen or Mobley? I would take Jared Allen if you have a salary. Thoughts on LeBron tonight? I think LeBron's playable. There's no standout plays from the Lakers in my opinion, but LeBron's viable. If I had to pick one of the big three from the Lakers between Westbrook, LeBron, or AD, I would probably take LeBron. Sorry for making you do the math, but thanks, bro. You're the best. Hey, sure thing, my man. Sure thing. Thanks so much. Good luck tonight. Hit the like button, everybody. Hey, you heard the man. Hit the like button, fellas. All right, I'm out of here. We've been live for 30 minutes or so. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Really, the only news that we're still waiting on is the status of KPJ, who's a game-time decision, and the status of Karl-Anthony Towns, who's a game-time decision. We kind of talked about who would benefit if those guys are out, so just be on the lookout for that news. But I think that's it, guys. Enjoy your weekend. It's Friday. I normally don't stream on the weekends, so I'll see you guys again on Monday. Hope you guys have a good weekend, and good luck tonight.